Hello, Malik Currington here, Family Budget Fisherman. Thank you for tuning in to our second episode for the year 2022. I hope I said 2022 in the last video, but once again, thank you for tuning in to this very special episode. As I mentioned on this past Wednesday, and showed you in the video, I got the items from Tackle Warehouse, and I want to do an unboxing here and share with you what I purchased. So let's get started. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for coming back. So like I said, I wanted to give a shout out to the Initials DG for giving me information that created this purchase, because it was actually what's in this rod tube, something that I've been talking to you all about for months, and then finally the opportunity made itself available. This is a quintessential example of waiting for an opportunity to make a purchase rather than thinking the purchase had to be made at that particular time. I ended up saving on this alone, this purchase alone, just this right here, 40%. I was able to save 40% because I waited to make this purchase. So that's it. We're going to go ahead and do the unboxing. This box is pretty small, but the contents are huge. The contents are huge. Some of the items I had not anticipated purchasing, and then opportunities became available. And I'm using my trusty Cutco knife. Some people understand the beauties of the Cutco knife. And there might be some that may be sharper, but these are so sharp, I don't know that I need anything sharper. You know, it's like buying a, you know, if you have, let's say I need, need a car, and someone says, I got some Rolls Royces to sell to you. Don't need a Rolls Royce, but I do need something that does a really good job at transport. So any car, in the $30,000 to $70,000 range would work for me. I don't need a $600,000 to $1 million car to do the job. Now that said, I would love to have $1 million car, but yeah. All right, so we got a few items here. Let me show you what the box looks like all together. Just a bunch of items. Almost looks like your monthly subscription box of items. Thank you, Tackle Warehouse. You did a great job. I placed this order late on Thursday, and I got it on, Wednesday. So what is that, 5 days, 6 days? So without regard to the supply chain, I got it on time, 5 days, 5 or 6. So the first thing I'm going to pull out of here are my Z-Man skirts. We're all familiar with the Z-Man skirts. So I got a whole bunch of Z-Man skirts, and I'll tell you how I made the purchase for all of these and why I made the purchase for all of these. Everything that I bought in this box, everything was at least 25% off on its own. So we're going to use that as a rubric, because some of these items are 40% off, some are 30. So let's just say 25% off. I want you to note that. Okay. Then I got some of these. Now I got these. These are called these are drop shot baits. These are called cash outs. This is the Pro designed by Skeet Reese, who I am acquainted with. I have some of his rods over here to my left, and also I'm acquainted with him, and I really am acquainted with his brother. His brother and his brother's son and my wife have a professional relationship together, and So I'm acquainted with them, and I was interested in what it was that they were selling on his behalf. I'm going to pull this out. This is what it is. Now, it looks pretty simple. And, you know, other companies make baits that look similar to that, but I wanted to try their version of it. You know, of course, it has the Powerbait smell. It's called the Cash Out. And I'm going to try these. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I will be in Clear Lake going after those big crappie and going after those even bigger bass. So I'm going to be set up, ready to go. Next thing I got, I don't know how many of these I did get. By the way, I have an Omnia fishing haul that I got, and it is an accompaniment to this right here, because I got the rod from Tackle Warehouse. I'm going to get the reel from Omnia Fishing, and you're going to be impressed with this particular reel. This year we're going to do a lot more reels. So I got these G-Cracks. Now, everybody knows this was a secret, one of the worst kept secrets in fishing. The Bellows Gill, made in Japan. This is the 3.8-inch model. And this design is, well, I don't speak Japanese. I can't remember what it was, but I have to look at the order to find out what it is. So I got this. This is the 3.8-inch Bellows Gill Neon. This is called the Neon Gill. And the reason why I say that is if you've had the pack, I want you to notice that other than the title and a couple of other things, the descriptions do not appear in English. They appear in Japanese. And unfortunately, at this time in my life, I do not speak Japanese, nor can I read it. I mean, even phrases I might say may scare me. So just know this. Hopefully, hello translates. These are fantastic baits, translates well. So here's another one. This is the 2.8, and I might be throwing this a lot more out there than the 3.8, although I will be throwing the 3.8. And then I got the 2-inch. And I got the 2-inch. By the way, this 2.8-inch is honeydew. This is a honeydew right here. And the 2-inch is sunburned. This is called sunburned. Okay. I think it's called sunburned WM. What is sunburned WM? Maybe it's warmouth. I don't know. Sunburn, we're going to say sunburn warmouth unless I'm corrected in some way. So then I took the time to to get some jackal baits. If you remember on Wednesday, and I made a point to leave it over here to my left here. There's a little table over here that you cannot see. But Jackal has a 2.8-inch eye shad. This is the Prism Shad. This is their drop shot bait as well. Now, I am going on purpose to start comparing some of these baits because people keep swearing by companies like Jackal, and I do believe they have some good baits, but are they premier baits? Now, this, of course, is a different bait. It's a very tiny bait at almost 3 inches, 2.8 inches. Here is the one that I got just a couple of days ago that I shared with you, if I can find it. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wait a minute. It's in this one. It's not in the other one. It's in this one. Here it is right here. I had a bit of a senior moment. Mention that. So this is also, this is a 3-inch bait. So it's not much difference. Slight difference in the length. Where it is in the width right there, And this is a little less refined in terms of it being a cutout. I don't know if you can see it up close there, but there's some little leftover plastic on there where this is a lot more refined. I don't know if that means that I'm going to catch better bait with this, with Jackal than I do with the other one, with Powerbait, but who knows. But both of them are going with me on the trip to Clear Lake. Okay, here's another. This is another skirt. I didn't tell you the color of the skirts. The colors of the skirts. This is Gary Klein, Cliff Pace, and Brent Ayler's colors. And this color is bluegrass. I like that color. It's bluegrass. Okay. Even has the guys on the back there. Then these are all Z-Man related stuff. So this one is, you guys are gonna really make me work for this stuff, huh? You don't just put Chartreuse Shad. Let's go with this one. Chartreuse Shad on that one. Okay. This one is Citrus Shad, which is different. Citrus Shad. And then this one is Spring Crawl. By the way, don't wait until next month to start buying your jackhammers if you need to buy them. Because if you wait, you may not be able to get them. And this skirt by Z-Man is Z-Man skirt. It's called Breaking Bream. Breaking Bream. Breaking Bream. Okay. Now, what else I got here? So I got this Yodel worm by 10,000 Fish. It's a tickle tail Yodel worm. I think that's a cool little bait. It's 4 3/4, almost 5 inches long. And this is my year to try some new things. And once again, it was on sale. I'm not a big fan of the clamshell, by the way, but I do like the fact that these baits are preserved quite well. Here it is, right here. Boy, that's a lot of movement in that tail, isn't it? A lot of movement. It's made like a little hook right there. You can see it there. It's kind of a hook. Super cool. I don't know if it was supposed to be a hook, but it looks nice nonetheless. So that's with 10,000 Fish. That's their bait there. And let's see if I can move around a little bit faster. So I got some hooks. These are from DK Rigging Heads, their Pro Series. This is Venom Lures. I don't know if Venom Lures is new to Tackle Warehouse, but they're a JDM company, a Japanese domestic market company, trying to make it in this market. And I got them, of course, I got them at a discount because I think they were one of the 25% off specials for the year. And I think you can still find them like that. This is the 4/0 3/16 ounce right here. And this is the 4/0 1/16 ounce. Is this 4/0? Yeah, both of these should be 4/0. Yeah, they're both 4/0. So this is the 1/16 ounce and this is the 3/16 ounce. And I just bought 2 packs so that I could try them, see how they work out. Then, of course, let me round this out for the box. YoZuri, the shallow crank, goes down to 7 feet. It's a floating, one of those 3D type lures. I like those lures. And this is another one. This is a shallow crank as well. This one is real brown. This, of course, is a different one. Prism Shad. Yeah, this is Prism, 3D Prism finish. And this one is brown crawfish. Brown crawfish. So that's it for the box. Okay. Now, I hope you like those purchases there. And I'll say it this way, and I don't know why I never said this in 2021, but with those videos, if there is a particular video, and I'll just say, there are 2 of you well, let me just say the point first. If there is something, any one of these baits that you would say, hey, I was wondering if you could throw that particular bait for a certain amount of time and record that bait, I'll be happy to do it. I'll be happy to do it. I'll give you one thing I'm going to do, which is going to freak some of you out. I am going to do an entire fishing video where all I'm doing is punching. The first one is to punch singularly and exclusively for bass, and another one is to punch singularly and exclusively for crappie. Yes, you can punch for crappie because sometimes they're under the same canopy if you want the big ones. Now, you can go down there and you can catch all the little ones you want, but if you want some big crappie, most of the time your biggest crappie, unless you're doing, like right now we're in the spawning time, most of your big crappie are going to be sitting right. Your 3 pound and up crappie are going to be sitting next to your 3 pound and up bass. And bass don't fool with crappie the same size as them, just FYI. So let me know in the comments below if there's a bait. Now, about I have at least two people in Germany who comment on my videos. And I'll say, because I didn't get permission to say the name, to the one who I have a lot of conversation with, and also recommended that I try to get an evergreen rod. I'm looking for the bright, I'm looking for one of those. I think I found a really good deal on it, and I'll let you know when it comes up. Also, again, going to be doing some reels, so just keep in mind there are going to be a few changes there. All right. I'm going to open this up. Here we go. Oh, cool. I got the bottom, thankfully. I'm going to slide this down here. It wants it's going to work. It's not going to come out real easy, that's for sure. Taco Warehouse is right now voiding my warranty. Them and Ark Rods. They're in the middle of voiding the warranty as I'm pouncing this on the ground. I'm going to open this on the other side. It was never going to go anywhere. Do you see this? Tackle Warehouse, I'm loving you. Look at that. They had it taped to one. It was never coming off. I am thoroughly impressed. It didn't shake, not one bit. It was going to resist any challenge I was going to give it. So here we go. And the butt end of it is actually on this side. Oh, this is beginning to look a lot like After Christmas. All right, 13 Fishing. I'm just going to tell you right now, you have some stiff competition. Because if you're going to do gray and black 13 Fishing on that Defy series rod, this is what you do, just aesthetically. Oh my goodness. The pictures on Tackle Warehouse don't do it any justice. I don't know why sometimes they don't use natural light or to use a more natural looking light on some of these rods, because these rods, don't get the enough daylight so we can see what they actually look like. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm not able to get it off that way. Now this is how you package a rod. I don't know if I'm going to edit a lot of this out, so just be prepared.
There we go. All right, friends, here we go. Let me get certain items out of the way so I don't get hit with anything.
All right, my friends, I want to introduce to you, because this is a combination first impression video, the Ark Rods Lancer Pro. This, in my opinion, appears to be, I'm not sure yet, but this may be the most valuable rod that Tackle Warehouse sells in its entire collection of rods. And when I say valuable, I don't mean expensive. I mean for the value. This may be the it. Now, I spent this rod, this is the Lancer series. So you can go online and look up the Lancer series. This is the Lancer series rod. This rod retails, it retails for $99. So it's right at that point where, you know, companies can realize on the long term real good margins, okay, for smaller companies. And Ark Rods, I believe they are a Florida company. I'm not really sure, but I believe they're a Florida company. Now, this rod, what makes this rod so impressive is that this rod begins with a 40-ton blank, okay? 40 tons. I don't care what product you get else on the market. When you get to 40 tons, take a look at the more popular brands, including 13 Fishing, which you all know my heart goes out to them on their higher end rods. That white rod that's over there that I reviewed last time, that white rod is the same price as this rod, but it is a 36 ton. Now, 36 ton ain't nothing to shake a stick at. 36 ton, but this is 40. This rod retails for $99.99 on Tackle Warehouse's website. My purchase was $60, okay? And I'm going to tell you how I did it. They discounted this rod to $69. I don't know why, but they did. So that automatically takes, 30% off. But the extra 10% came because I bought gift cards. And I bought the e-gift card from Tackle Warehouse. Before I purchased the gift card, I asked them, is it okay for me to purchase an e-gift card and then immediately after I receive the e-gift card, use it in a purchase? Meaning that there were no delays between when I purchased the gift card and when I get to use it. Because companies like Sportsman's Warehouse, where they have this deal where you can buy $200 worth of merchandise and more, and they give you a $50 gift card. Well, the gift card can't be spent for 2 or 3 weeks. Bass Pro Shops does the same thing. They will say, hey, spend this X amount of dollars and we'll give you a $25 gift card. But the gift card couldn't be spent for almost an entire month. Well, the economy changes so quickly, sales change, and they change on a whim. In that moment, you know what you want. And if you want to move the merchandise with that promotion. They didn't want to do it. So Tackle Warehouse, you have my eternal and abiding return on commerce, return on purchases because of what you have provided. This rod is a beautiful rod. I love the gray here. I love the gray. And this rod feels as light as a 40-ton rod would feel, just so that you know. It does not look like some other rods look a little unreal, almost like toys, with their color schemes. This one doesn't. It doesn't feel that way. The lock nut, as to be expected, is going to be plastic for a sub $100 rod. I do wish that they start upgrading these lock nuts to something a little bit heavier, though, because even with a 40-ton, you want something that will fit it more snug and last over time. Because if this thing breaks, it's going to be a while before this rod gets replaced. So these are my first impressions. Now, you all know, I think that the world can afford to move to tangle-free guides, just overall. You saw that in my review for the Field and Stream version, which retails for $69. This one was discounted to that. I think the world can afford to go to the tangle-free guide system, but nonetheless, this is what we have here. We have these here, and I think these are alkanite guides. So you have the stripper, the choke. Okay, there's a little bit of play right there. Let me hold it tight. No. Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of play there. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runners. So that's 7, and then you have the tip. So those are 8 guides right there. Let's see, where does this balance? I usually start where they have a lot of the what do you call it? The wrapping material. I usually start there and work my way back, but it appears about right there. Is it there? Nope, that wasn't it. Because I should be able to move this around with no problem. There we go. It's not the best balance rod. I'm just going to tell you right now. I think it could be balanced a little bit better than that, and it may have something to do with the guides themselves. I don't know that. Let's just get it over just a little bit more there. There we go. Yeah, it's not the best balanced rod, but we'll see what it does in terms of its performance. See, when it's balanced well, then I can move it around and not have very many problems, and I don't want to drop it. But finding that center is going to be difficult. But nonetheless, this is it appears to be a pretty decent rod. I got to give it to him. Appears to be a decent rod. Let's see. Let's bend it. Now this is supposed to be a fat. Wow, that's a fast. I mean, it's bending way up here, way up here. So it's going to be a pretty stiff rod, which means that it's going to be good for. It's going to be good for finesse techniques, maybe not so good for reaction baits. Now, the way you deal with that, if you have a stiffer rod for reaction baits, what you do is you compromise on the drag system. So either you get a reel that doesn't have a very, very heavy drag system, like a 20-pound drag system, which is kind of the reel that I just bought, or you dial it back on the drag system. You don't tighten it all the way down. You give yourself more drag, because this rod is so light that you're not going to get fatigued. Even if it's not a terribly balanced rod, you're not going to get fatigued on throwing it for 40 tons. That's awful light, awful sensitive. So what you do is you give yourself some give on the drag, and that way you can accomplish what you need. And also, I would, in this particular case, and only in this particular case, I would go from using using a fluorocarbon to using a monofilament, because monofilament is going to give me some stretch. So between easing up on the drag system or having a reel with a lower drag system, say 8 pounds or, somewhere up in that area, I wouldn't go too low, but 8 pounds would be good, So you lower your drag system on the reel and then use monofilament, not fluorocarbon, for your leader. So you have stretch up to 14% on that end. You got a lighter drag system, you in business. So you can use a stiffer rod to accomplish your work and still do a great job. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use that setup and throw some reaction baits and then give you my opinion. As you know, this is going to go through the 24-hour ringer, as we might call it. I am not prepared to take it with me down to Clear Lake, and from Redding, it's down to Clear Lake, not up to Clear Lake like most places. Down to Clear Lake and fish it, but it will be on a subsequent trip, either up to Mount Shasta, which is about just 10 minutes north of me. Matter of fact, on my main street, you just take it straight up to Mount Shasta. or another fishing trip, because I have several rods that I need to gear up for that. What reel I'm going to use, you will see. You will see. I have one coming from Omnia Fishing, and we will pair that with this, see what kind of combo we're going to have. My goal with this particular rod is to give the beginner fisherman, you are going to have a scenario that I never did have when I was first beginning fishing, and that is to have the accoutrements of a high-end rod in a value combination and be out there and catch with the best of us. So I know this was a long video. I appreciate your patience. And to that I say, once again, Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And under no circumstances, take it from me with the deals that we got here. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention to you. So my total purchase price on this, if I were to have added everything up, full retail value, it would have cost me $270, I think it was. It was 200 and, was it 270? It was, no, it was 260, not including tax. My out the door price was $135. I think that's what it was. $135. And here's how I did it. $140, because I had to add to it. So here's what I did do. I only made purchases of items that were 25% less expensive and more. Then I bought the Tackle Warehouse gift card, which was 10% off. I bought $150 worth. They gave it to me for $135. And then I made a purchase price that just went over the $150 by a few dollars and paid the taxes. And that's how I ended up doing it. And so for about $140, I get $260 worth of merchandise. So what is that? If you take 140, let's just say almost half. It's more than 40%. So we're just going, or almost 40%, somewhere up in there. So at any rate, I saved about $120. Yeah, that's almost half. So I want to say to you, thank you once again. Thank you for hanging in there. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, there's a lot of changes that are going to be made, and I will let you know when we get to 1,000 subscribers. I know it's taken this channel a lot because the way this channel runs, it's taken a lot. But I have to tell you, you all are quality subscribers. You teach me even after my over 40 years. My dad says he started taking me fishing when I was 3. I'm 51. That's 48 years. I remember being able to bait my own hooks and switch out my own baits, plastic baits, by the time I was 5. I remember that in 1975. So, you know, that's just me. So I know it's over 40 years, but you all are still teaching me, and I do appreciate that. Appreciate you being out there. Look forward to the next video. Hopefully Omnia Fishing comes in, and then there's some other items that are coming through. We got channel reviews to do, not channel reviews. We got what this channel is going to do next year. Looking forward, and also a rod and reel arsenal for 2022 is coming. Stay tuned. I'll talk to you later. Under any circumstances, don't break your family's budget by buying any of this equipment. But within the law and within good ethics, do everything you can to break your personal best. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.